Day 5, we went to the old Pingxi rail line and explored as many of the stops as possible and then finished at Jiufen.
In a day, yes.
Yeah, it was a busy one. So how do we start our day?
I feel like we're just really predictable now, aren't we? Coffee.
Lots of coffee, 7-Eleven, and your favourite 7-Eleven snack.
Kuchen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Again, not something you get here.
No, also, I'm aware it's like German.
Yeah.
Or something. It's cake.
It's tasty.
So basically, I had cake for breakfast.
So the plan for the day was to do the entire old Pingxi train line. But the thing is, to do that...
We were a bit ambitious. Just throwing it out there.
To do that, it's a single track route. It doesn't go in a circle or anything. No. So we decided the best way to do as much of it as possible was to get a taxi to one end and then ride round it. And that way we could see, hopefully, the entire line in a day.
That was, well, it was a very good idea. And the hotel that we were staying at sorted a driver for us. And they were lovely, weren't they?
Yeah, it was brilliant. Very comfortable car.
I was talking about the person.
Right.
The person was lovely.
Yeah.
The driver was lovely.
Yeah, we had a good chat. So we ended up going to Jingtong first, which is I guess technically it's the last stop on the line rather than the first stop on the line, but we started there.
We did not have long, but I really liked this.
It seemed like a really nice place. Unfortunately, because we got there early in the morning trying to see everything, like pretty much everything was shut when we got there. And then about 2 or 3 minutes after we arrived, the train arrived. So we kind of rushed around, had a little explore, and then got straight on the train to go to the next stop.
But I think it would be when we go back to Taiwan. It would be the type of place that I would like to go for a morning, like to actually see properly.
Yeah, to go and explore.
To do it a little bit slower, because I think we tried to do, because we had limited time, we tried to do a lot with the time that we had, which worked, which had its benefits and some negatives. And this was one of them, that we found somewhere we really liked, but we just didn't have time to spend there.
Yeah, because it's really cool. What I really liked there was the bamboo wishes.
Yes.
It's so pretty.
It was such a lovely idea as well.
Yeah. And just seeing them all hanging from like the signs, from the trees, from everywhere. It's such a cool idea. Next stop, Pingxi. Now, we've been to Pingxi before.
We have.
For the Lantern Festival, which was
carnage.
Incredible.
It was amazing.
But also insanely busy. Yeah, it was crazy. I remember we actually lost one of our friends trying to get the train over there. Yeah. We eventually did manage to find each other and meet up again, but it was... busy. Yeah, we'd get a bit lost in the crowd. It's a beautiful town, though. I'd not been in the daytime before.
No, I've only ever seen it at nighttime.
Yeah, and really nice place to explore. And we had the most delicious sausage I've had in Taiwan.
Yeah, it was really good. But that was
spicy. It
was like literal chili.
Yeah.
So if somebody said to you, oh, you're getting a garlic and chili sausage, it would mean that the garlic and chili was in the sausage.
If you're getting in this country, yeah.
But it had been sliced up, and in the slices was like whole pieces of garlic and a whole piece of chili. It was delicious.
So good.
But it was intense, wasn't it?
And if that thing as well is, it's like, it was again a super hot day, and having super spicy and hot sausage was, it was quite intense.
As we all know, I am an old lady with old lady knees. And at this point in the trip, my knees had just seized up. So they didn't want to move. So I sat down and I made a friend while you went off to...
explore the area. Yeah, I decided to go and explore because I'd heard about the Pingxi Crags, that it was a really cool place to go hiking and exploring. So I went up to the crags, but again, time being as limited as it was, we checked the train times. I was like, I do not have time to climb all the way up there and come all the way back. So I just wanted to have a little bit of an explore anyway. And it's a beautiful area. I'd love to go back. Again, one of those things, if we had time, I would love to go back and actually climb up the crags. But the highlight of that bit was while I was there up near the crags, I heard something and I turned around and I thought it was going to be like a cat or a dog or something, but it wasn't. It was like a Taiwanese sika deer. And I've never seen one of those before.
I've not seen one.
And
I wasn't there.
I was like racing to get the camera with the zoom lens on, and by the time I'd put the right lens on and zoomed in, it had gone. I did try to get footage of it, and it would have been really cool, but you'll just have to trust me that I did actually see it.
I made a friend. I was just sitting down reading my book, in the shade, and much like happens a lot in Taiwan, which is lovely.
Yeah.
This person struck up a conversation with me, and it was really nice. We were just chatting about Taiwan and where I was from and university and work and things.
Yeah.
So.
Again, that thing in Taiwan, everyone is so friendly. And in the UK, we have a thing where most people aren't very willing to just start up a conversation with a stranger. It's not like part of our culture.
No. Small talk is very much part of our culture. And if you were sitting on a street, you wouldn't approach someone and talk like that. It just isn't something that people would do. Not that they wouldn't talk back, but it would just be awkward, I suppose, like a little bit unusual for people to do that.
Whereas in Taiwan, it feels completely natural to just start up a conversation with someone.
Yeah.
And it's lovely.
Yeah.
Next stop, Lingjiao. Now, Lingjiao, again, not somewhere I'd ever stopped before, but I'd heard there was a really nice waterfall there. So we stopped and we got off, and it did not look promising. You looked around and there's like nothing there.
No.
Beautiful area, but it looked like there was absolutely nothing there. But then it's actually not very far from the train stop at all, is it? The waterfall.
Thank goodness.
You did have to go downstairs with your knee,
Took me. Well, you went down first to tell me whether or not it was worth the pain.
It was definitely worth it.
Well, once we got down to because you walked down the steps to the waterfall, and then I just sat on a rock, and you just explored, and I just got to sit and enjoy all the dragonflies and butterflies.
Yeah,
so that was nice. And there was a little heron.
There's always a little
big heron.
Yeah, and some terrapins.
Terrapins. Yeah.
But yeah, really cool area. Like the waterfall itself is stunning. And then in the area where you come down to, there's like this really odd little like cave system and things. And there's like these stone mushrooms. It's almost like a little fairyland. And like someone's carved like a dragon's face into the rock. And
it's more, I would describe it as a bit like a folly.
Yeah.
Like the type of thing here that you get where people build things that don't really, I don't know if it had a function, but here a folly is made to look like something that has a function, but it doesn't function as that thing.
Yeah.
So like it'll look like a house, but you can't go inside or something like that.
And this was just a really cool little place to explore. And again, if we'd had more time, it'd be a really nice place to stop. And like, if you brought food with you, have like a picnic and things, I think it'd be really fun. And also just to explore like down the river around that area, because I did have a walk out and look down, and the next bit of river looked stunning. And there was like birds fishing in the water, and amazing.
I don't have a great deal to add other than the waterfall looked lovely, and that's where I sat. I sat getting sprayed by the water. So that's
nice and cool.
Yeah.
Great view. And also not very busy because it's like not a particularly like well-known site. I think there's one other person
They were coming down as we were leaving.
Yeah. Next stop, Shifen. And that was a bit of a change of pace from Lingjiao, where there was no one there, to Shifen, where there was
everyone
there. I think it's always busy there. We've been there before, and it was super busy last time we went. It's really cool to see the old street. It has that kind of really old world vibe to it. And obviously you've got all the people doing the lanterns. Yes. Which is really cool. We didn't do the lanterns.
I really want to, but
there needs to be like a biodegradable alternative.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's our place to go and set lanterns off when we know that they aren't great for the environment in someone else's country.
Yeah.
And we saw lots of the metal rings like in trees.
Stuck in the trees and things. And it's like, we didn't want to add to that.
Yeah.
So we didn't do any lanterns, but they are really cool to see.
Yeah, I wanted to.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was like, no, we shouldn't.
Yeah.
So we just watched other people doing it instead.
Yeah. And it is amazing, especially when you see a group of them like up in the sky together. Like when we did go to Pingxi and saw the Lantern Festival, and they let off like 100 of them at the same time.
That was, and the music that they had with it as well. It was really good. Because we don't have anything like that.
No.
What I was thinking though, it's really interesting, like the different ways that different cultures wish.
Throw a penny in the well.
You throw a penny in the well. You catch a seed.
Yeah.
You know, from a dandelion, you make a wish, you let it go. You blow out your birthday candles and you make a wish.
Yeah.
Write on the lanterns. You write your wish on the lanterns and you let it go. Write it on paper, set it on fire.
The bamboo we saw.
The bamboo, yeah. I just love that there's so many different ways that people wish.
Yeah, it's a really cool cultural thing that is different all over the world.
Yeah. But the wishing is the same.
Yeah.
People making the wish is the same, but the way that they do it is different. I love that.
One of my favourite Taiwan desserts, because I'd say I love a lot of Taiwanese food, but there's not a lot of Taiwanese desserts. We already talked about red bean before not being one of our favorite things.
I'm saying nothing.
Taiwanese desserts aren't necessarily our favorite, but one of my favorite Taiwan desserts is, I don't know what it's called. You'll have to let me know what it's called, but it's like a pancake, and then in the pancake there's ice cream, often like taro ice cream, and then like shaved peanut and coriander, and it is delicious. I love that.
Oh, I have that thing, that gene or whatever it is, the thing that I can't eat coriander. It tastes disgusting, and I do not understand how people can eat it. How do you eat? It's not even like it's cooked.
Yeah.
It's just an ice cream.
I couldn't believe that.
It tastes like the pits of hell.
I couldn't believe when we discovered that, though, because I thought, it's just something you don't like. But then we discovered that dislike of coriander, if you didn't know this, dislike of coriander is genetic.
There you are.
So you can't even train yourself to like it or anything.
It's just wrong, and it's written into my DNA. It tastes like soap and ash.
Needless to say, Laura did not share that with me.
No. I like peanut, though. I like ice cream. I don't like peanut ice cream. And I like peanuts like...
Not like the shaved peanut.
No, I like just peanuts.
Yeah. Peanut brittle, we'd recall it, wouldn't we?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I don't like it when it's sweet. I just want the nuts themselves. And then coriander can go and burn in hell.
So even though we had a lot to get through on the day, we did want to walk over and actually see the Shifen waterfall.
No, we didn't want to walk over there. I want some really clever people to invent teleportation so that I don't need to walk anywhere ever again.
But yeah, we decided to go there, and it's quite a long walk, so we didn't really have time to stop and eat or anything. So we just stopped at Family Mart, and you created a new culinary treat.
It's like the whitest of white people food. So I got one of those egg sandwiches that's got like no crust on, which in the UK is what you do for like children. You cut the crusts off, so that children don't have to eat the crust. And then I bought a bag of spicy Doritos, and then I just put... Like a crisp sandwich is like top tier in the UK. It's just wonderful. Is it beige? Yes. This was beige, like really, really white. And then it had like the orange bit of the Doritos. So I mixed in, 2 shades of beige.
Yeah.
And I put the Dorito in the egg sandwich, crushed it down, added some more, crushed it down, ate it. Genius.
Now, this is something...
Genius.
This is something that you can get in pretty much any convenience store. So what I'd like you to do, next time you go to the convenience store, is try this. Get yourself the plain egg sandwich with nothing else in it. Get yourself some crisps, probably Doritos.
Ideally I would say something with quite a lot of punch to
flavour, yeah.
Because the egg sandwich was...
Not very flavourful.
It wasn't doing a great deal in terms of flavour.
So put them in, give it a try, let us know how it goes. Is it culinary genius?
Wondrous is what it is.
Or is it a disaster?
I mean, if you compare it to anything else you're going to eat in Taiwan, I mean, it's not ranking on the scale, but I was really hungry, and that's what did it for me.
Yeah, that's all we had time for.
Yeah.
So yeah, how was the waterfall?
That was lovely.
It is really impressive, yeah.
Yeah, it's huge.
I think it's probably the most impressive waterfall I've been to. I can't think of anything that's like it. I've heard that it's called like the Little Niagara Falls, and I can see that. It does look...
Yeah.
I've never been to Niagara Falls, but I've obviously seen pictures, and it does have a similar sort of look to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, really nice place to go and have an explore, have a rest. There's lots of different points at which you can view it.
Yes,
so that's quite cool.
I disliked the walk. I mean, obviously I disliked the walk across, but I disliked the walk across when you get onto that last kind of suspension bridge.
Yeah, you don't like a suspension bridge,
I do not like a suspension bridge. And then there was some idiot who decided it'd be appropriate to jump on the suspension bridge.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that. But the waterfall was lovely.
Yeah.
It wasn't too busy either, I thought. There was loads of people.
In the old town, yeah.
There was loads of people on the walk across, and there was loads of people on the suspension bridge, but there wasn't actually that many people
It wasn't
viewing.
that busy, yeah.
Yeah, so I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. I think the last time we'd gone there, it had been a public holiday, so that would be why it was so busy when we went there before.
Yeah.
Next stop was supposed to be the Cat Village.
I really wanted to go to the Cat Village.
We've never been before, and I thought it'd be really exciting to go, and it was part of the planned route, but we were really running low on time by this stage.
I'd been really slow. I was really struggling to walk, keep the pace up. So we ended up having to cut the Cat Village from the...
Yeah.
our stops.
Because we just as we were heading back to Shifen station, the train was leaving. So we knew we'd have to wait an hour for the next train.
Yeah.
So what we did instead was we just got a taxi straight up to Jiufen, which was going to be the last stop of the day.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to be there in the evening.
It was a real shame to have to cut bits out and rush the parts that we ended up rushing, because it would have been really nice to spend a lot longer in a lot of these places.
Which is why I'd say anyone who's looking at making a Taipei like area itinerary, if you're going to do the Pingxi rail line, I'd recommend doing it across at least 2 days.
Yeah.
Maybe stopping in Shifen or somewhere roughly in the middle, so that you can do like half one day and half the next day. So there's another waterfall that we wanted to see that we didn't get to see. There's so many places that we'd like to have spent more time or would like to have stopped at all and we didn't get the chance to. So yeah, 100% would recommend at least 2 days if you're going to do this.
Oh no, I'll have to do it again.
Next stop, Jiufen.
It's like a Studio Ghibli dream, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Everyone's heard the story, I think, that Miyazaki based Spirited Away on Jiufen. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I can completely see why people make that reference. Yeah,
because you look at it. I remember the first time we went, and I hadn't heard that story, and I remember we went there, and it would be what was it, 2011? 11.
Yeah,
I remember being like, this literally looks like it's born out of Spirited Away, and you were like, oh yeah, no, that's the idea.
The story, yeah,
and I was like, yeah, no, absolutely.
It is incredible, especially in the evening and at night time with all the lanterns.
The lanterns, yeah.
It is so picturesque and beautiful. And I've never been anywhere that's even vaguely like it. It's so different to anywhere else.
Yes, it's so different to anything here.
Yeah.
That there's something like magical about it. I don't know if everybody feels that who. Like, even if you're from there, I don't know if that's the same sense that you get, but it
feels magical.
Yeah, it feels like it fell out of a fairy tale.
Yeah, definitely. It's such a cool place to explore as well. Even though it's like, obviously it's super busy and super touristy, but it still feels like somewhere that you can explore to an extent. Like, as you go up and down all the different levels, whatever little alley you go down, there's always new shops and things to explore. And it's a lot like when we went to the Songshan Cultural Park the day before. Lots of like art studio style places.
Yes, pottery.
Yeah.
Lots of pottery. And there was one shop we went into which was like an explosion of colour.
That was so cool.
It was like they'd... wasn't, but it looked like the walls were made of pottery, and it was really cool. I really liked that.
It reminded me of Barcelona and like the Gaudi architecture.
Again, had to be stopped from buying things.
Where we did buy things, didn't we, in one of the shops?
Yeah.
We bought
like a little
smiling bao bun,
and we bought some. I bought like a candle, and we bought a fridge magnet.
Yeah.
Classic.
You've got to buy a fridge magnet when you go somewhere.
Have to.
Cover your fridge in
Show where you've
locations. Is that just a British thing? Is that
probably? No, they wouldn't sell them otherwise. It can't just be for us, can it? I bet it's an American thing.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So we stopped for dinner and we had pizza because when you're in somewhere very old and traditional, you have very untraditional tea. But pizza was good. And we knew that we were going on to somewhere very traditional next because after the pizza, we went on to the Arme tea house because it's like the classic Jiufen site, isn't it?
And we'd not been before.
No, we'd not, no. And just looking at it, it's stunning.
It's huge.
I was surprised at how big it was. And I think it's that building in particular that was the inspiration for Spirited Away.
I can see that.
When you see, like, when you go in and you go up like the small staircase and things, there's the lanterns hanging everywhere.
Can I just say, the staff in there, their level of language, all the languages is insane.
I heard the waiting staff in there speaking in fluent, obviously in Mandarin. I also heard them speaking in English, in Japanese, and in Korean while we were there.
It was amazing.
And I don't speak any Korean, but I speak some Japanese, and the Japanese sounded great. The English was perfect.
I mean, I forgot immediately what our server had said. They were very clear. I just immediately forgot all of it.
Yeah, because they explained the process, because it's a very traditional way of serving tea. They explained the process of how you're supposed to pour the water and
which is very
how
different.
Many times you reuse the leaves.
Yeah, it's so different to how you do tea, how we would do tea here, if you have leaf tea. I say it's, but obviously I would say that because it's what I'm used to, but I would say like the way that we have it is fairly straightforward. You don't really do anything. You add the hot water you leave it a little bit, and then you strain it and you drink it. That's it. There's nothing else to it.
Yeah.
Whereas it's so much more ceremonial. There's so many more steps to it.
Yeah.
And that was lovely, but a little bit overwhelming because I was trying to pay attention to what he was saying and watch it and hold the information in my head. And then as soon as this person left the table, I was like, I have no idea what to do.
One thing I would say, neither of us are particularly big green tea drinkers most of the time. We went for the High Mountain Oolong when we were there because, again, it's the Taiwan classic. But what I would say, it's not my favorite. I did enjoy it at the Ame Tea House.
Are you about to say that it's a medical marvel?
I think it's a medical marvel because, right?
I think it was hydration myself.
I'd had a really bad headache for the last 2 hours when we got to the tea house. And I sat down and I drank a few cups of tea, and within 15 minutes, my headache had completely gone. Now, I'm not sure if this is something people are aware of or if it's a known medicinal quality of the tea, but it cured my headache like that straight away. Mm-hmm. It was definitely the tea.
I think it was liquid. I think it was the fact that you'd had water, something that wasn't caffeinated.
It's caffeinated.
It's not caffeinated though, is it?
Yeah, some in.
Yeah, but not like Coke and coffee. It was nice. I liked it, which is rare. Normally I am very much, if it's not English breakfast, I don't want it.
And because we had the set menu, we got a nice little selection of snacks and things. There was little biscuits, and there was dried plum,
yes,
and all sorts of stuff. And yeah, really cool and really nice just to actually experience being in there, because I've walked past it quite a few times but never actually been in. And after we'd had our tea, we then went back down the alley of lanterns. I don't know if the street has a name or anything, but it's there's lanterns all the way down through the town, down back to where the buses leave from. And we'd already been given a tip from the driver who drove us up, telling us which bus to get on. I was amazed at how quickly I didn't realize you can get back to Taipei so quickly from Jiufen. It only took us was it 45 minutes or something on the bus?
It wasn't even that. I'd expected to be on the bus for
over an hour.
Over an hour,
yeah. I didn't realize you could get there that quickly. So again, all the more reason to go to Jiufen if you're in Taipei. Even if you don't plan on doing the whole Pingxi rail line, Jiufen's one of those places that you have to go to.
It's really lovely.
And now realizing you can get there in 40 something minutes on the bus.
Yeah.
There's literally no reason to not go there.
I love the lanterns, and I think we should have them in the UK. We love bunting. Bunting is the thing.
Yeah.
And the only thing that would make bunting better is if it was lit up.
Yeah. It's just so pretty. Yeah. I love the colours. There's something really special, especially when you look at Jiufen from the other side of the hill, from a distance, and you just see the whole hillside.
Very light.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a Christmas tree, but a mountain. So the next day was day 6, where we went to the Beito area, the Danshui area, and then in the evening we stopped at Shilin Night Market. Lots of food was consumed.